Morning all. Hope you are able to hear me.
Good morning, Naveen. We are able to hear you.
So last session we discussed about only the introduction, what is SAP and all, like what is R1, R2, R3, right? And different our modules in our what are the different versions we have, correct? Until S4 HANA Fiori, what is Fiori apps and all those stuff. Okay. So today we will discuss about further. Oh, this is it. Okay. So we need to discuss modules on SAP. Modules in SAP. How many modules we have overall? Any idea, anyone? What are the modules? How many divisions we have in module?
SDFI
Those are what kind of module? Will come under which modules?
functional,
Functional. Apart from that, what are the other modules we have?
technical module.
And okay, normally I'll come. Okay, most important thing this is okay. The SAP modules are divided into three types. First one, functional modules, as you said, functional modules, nothing but business process based modules. Business process based modules. Okay. Next one we have. Okay. Functional modules, and next one, technical modules. Technical modules. Next one. Third one, web-based modules. Web-based modules. Clear? Functional modules, technical modules, and web-based modules. Sorry? Sorry? Any questions from anyone? If you have no more questions, if you don't have any questions, kindly mute yourself. Okay. So first one, we have functional modules. Functional modules. We'll talk about functional modules. So in SAP, we have 36 different functional modules. Clear? What do you mean by functional modules? Which is having business process modules. Business process modules are nothing but functional modules. And our course is also focused on functional modules. Our course is also focused on functional modules. So what are the functional modules we have? What are the different functional modules we have? Clear? So first one, okay, FI. What do you mean by FI? FI stands for financial. Financial. Okay. Second one, CO. Okay, now it is both are same, single module, but still controlling module. Okay. Next one, we have one more module. Important modules I'm going to discuss. MM, materials management. Okay, materials management. Materials management. Next one, we have QM, quality management. Okay, quality management. Do you need to remember all this? No, not required. Just for your information, I'm saying this. Quality management. Next one. Okay, WM. WM stands for. Okay, WM stands for warehouse management. Warehouse management. Next one. Okay. Plant maintenance. Plant maintenance. Okay. FI, CO, clear. PM, Okay.
Sales and distribution.
Yeah, SD. Sales and distribution. Sales and distribution. Clear? Okay. Next one. FI, CO. Okay. Next one. PP. PP. Production and planning. Production and planning. Okay. Next one. PS. Project systems. Project systems. Okay. Next one. SD we have already done. Okay. Next one. Okay. Human resources. Like this, we have basic functional. These are the basic functional modules. Next one we have technical modules. Technical modules. Technical modules. So, okay, technical modules. Let me. Technical modules. Technical modules. Again, technical modules are further divided into two types. Okay, one is ABAP. ABAP. Okay, ABAP. What is ABAP stands for? Never ever call it as a ABAP. Clear? Always pronounce it as an ABAP. Okay. Advanced business application programming. Okay. Advanced business application programming. Clear? This particular program, okay, or this particular programming language, developed by SAP. Okay. Okay. Why we need a language here? Why we need a programming language for the SAP? In the sense, okay, why we need a programming language? Why we need a programming language? In the sense, to do the developments. To do the developments. To do the development. So in SAP, what are the developments we can do? In the sense, for example, SAP has provided what is, for example, SAP has, for example, I'll tell you. SAP has provided complete end-to-end business solutions. Okay, again, I'll remove this. What is SAP? Majorly, why SAP is more powerful? Why SAP is that much popular? In the sense, SAP has provided, okay, SAP has provided complete end-to-end and business solutions. End-to-end business solutions means, what do you mean by that? In the sense, for example, SAP has, okay, SAP has default configurations where businesses can use directly, okay, as per their business requirement. Means, what does it mean? Whatever may be the segment, whatever may be the sector. For example, it could be a service sector. It could be a service sector. It could be a manufacturing sector. It could be a trading sector. Okay, whatever may be the sector, if they purchase SAP, then what they can do, they can directly use, they can directly map, okay, 80% directly they can map it and they can use it. Clear? So they can purchase it, licenses, they can install it, okay, they can configure, they can map it, and 80 to 90% they can use directly. But only where is the deviation? Customer specific requirements. So 10 to 20%, maybe they have a customer specific. 10 to 20. If you go to a restaurant, normally what we will do, 99% customer, what they will give only the order. They will give only the order, and whatever predefined by pre-delivered food is there, that will be delivered to you. But sometimes 1 to 2% people will say that they want to customize. For example, more spicy or more salty or less oil. Like that, they will give their own instructions. So hardly 1 or 2% will give customer specification. So in SAP also, 90% SAP, whatever default software SAP is providing, they can directly map to their businesses. Clear? Another 10% or 5% or 15%, they want to customize according to their requirement. So that 10% specific requirement only that is suitable only for that particular purpose. So for that particular reason, SAP need programming knowledge, means they have to develop according to the customer requirement. Clear? According to 90%, they can map it directly. For that, there is no development is required. Already, whatever SAP has provided, the same thing they can map it. But another 10%, they have a custom specification. Custom specification, right? So at that particular point, SAP need a program. So where the requirement will come, on what areas the requirement will come, in the sense, okay, where it will come, the requirements, where is the differences occurs. Okay, so it is nothing but in second. Okay, so development, okay, development, what, where the areas they require development, in the sense there is a concept called fries. Remember this term, fries, means, okay, F stands for, in F stands for forms, okay. R stands for, I'll explain each and every term. R stands for reports, clear. I stands for interfaces, okay, interfaces. C stands for conversions, E stands for enhancements, okay, enhancements, okay. And there is one more option. In some countries, they call this fries as a fries F W, okay. Remember this. Or in other countries, few countries, they will call it as a rice F U, okay. Workflows. W stands for workflows. Means where normally the customer requirement may differ, in the sense at this levels. Clear? Forms, reports, right? Interfaces, conversions, right? Next one, conversions, enhancements. Okay. So let me tell you that what is actually each and every abbreviation. One second. Okay. For example, why they will have differences here. Why they need a differences here in the sense, for example, forms. So what do you mean by forms here? Normally, what do you mean by forms? For example, you purchased a product in a what you call any store. They will give you a bill. They will give you a bill, correct? Bill copy, right? So every store, the bill copy will be the same format. Will it be the same across the whatever stores you purchase? Yes or no? Whatever stores we purchase, the bill copy, okay, will be the same across? Yes, no?
No.
No.
No. It will be different.
It will be different in each and every this one. So what is this form in the sense? For example, customized. So I may require the date should be on the left side, and the other business required the date would be on the right side, and someone required the bill number should be on the top left side, someone on the middle, someone on the right side, someone on the bottom. Clear? Like that, they will have a specific requirements. So at that particular point of time, if SAP has given standard that what you call bill number will be generated on the top left side, standard, that is SAP standard, right? And but my customer, whatever customer we are implementing SAP, they want in the middle the bill number. Then what happens? The customer may not accept because I need in the middle, but SAP standard is giving on the left. Correct? So for that particular purpose, SAP has given this development program. So what SAP will do, they will customize the requirement on the forms. Forms are nothing but your invoices, your bills. Clear? So that is. So what is form? Customized. Sorry. Customized. Okay. Customized print layout. Print layout. Print layouts and templates used for invoices, nothing but bills. Clear? Next one, purchase orders. Okay, sales orders. Clear? Pay slips, for example, and I'll write it as an only one simple term, pay slips. So no company will have a common pay slips format. Correct? So one company will have a one format of pay slips, another company will have another format of pay slips. So if SAP standard is providing one format, so the companies may not accept. So at that particular point of time, Wipro need one sort of pay slips, right? Next one, entity data need one sort of pay slips. Genpact need one sort of pay slips. Cognizant need one sort of pay slips. And they are all implementing SAP, and SAP is giving pay slips their own format. So the companies may not accept. If they don't have a development option, right, customize option, then no one will take SAP. So that is the reason, as per the customer requirement, okay, the forms can be designed according to the customer requirement. So that is called customized print layouts, customized prints layout. In the same time, so here there is a difference between one company to another company, right? Forms in the form of forms. Next one, reports. So what is the problem with the reports? Okay, reports. So here we will have a SAP is possible to create custom reports. Custom reports created to meet business specific needs. Clear? That standard SAP reports which are not covered in SAP standard. Okay, so what do you mean by this? Sales report or purchase report, right? So for example, if you take your any report, company analysis report, So one company report may not be the same with another company reports. Clear? Your sales report for the particular period of Accenture will be different from Wipro to Apple to any other. Clear? So the sales reports or purchase reports will not be the same. So here, as per Apple, for example, Apple has implemented SAP, right? And SAP has given some sales report, predefined sales report. But Apple doesn't like that. They want their own format of report. Clear? So SAP is having that feature of they can design custom report as per the customer requirement. They can give the template. Clear? So where is the problem occurs between one client to another client? 90% I said it may be the standard, but 10% or 15% vary. The difference will come from one customer to another customer. Where is it will come? It will come in the sort of forms, different forms, like as I said, that purchase orders, bills, and all those stuff. Next one in reports, in generating reports, right? So the reports format may differ from one company to another company. Clear? So that is a difference. Next one, interfaces. Clear? Interfaces, for example. Okay, interfaces. What is that? Data exchange programs. It is very important. Data exchange programs. Data exchange programs between SAP to non-SAP. Between SAP to non-SAP. Clear? Non-SAP system. Okay, non-SAP system. Okay, inbound or outbound. We call it as an inbound or outbound. Inbound or outbound. Okay, inbound or outbound. Okay. For example, why interfaces? For example, I am sending a file. See, my company name is, for example, Apple. My company is an Apple, and I'm using SAP in my company. So here I am having a connection with ICICI Bank, or now it is no City Bank. So ICICI Bank, right? So here we are depositing. Here we are depositing some amounts, and we are issuing checks, and lot of activities we are doing from Apple to our company to ICICI Bank. So ICICI using non-SAP system. ICICI using any bank system, that is non-bank software. Non-bank software. Clear? So here, what they are using third-party application. They are using third-party application. Clear? So in between, so we need to send the data. We need to send the data to bank, right? This is called outbound. Outbound. Okay. And we need to receive from the ICICI. We need to receive the data from ICICI. Correct? We need to receive the data from ICICI. That is called inbound data. Inbound data. If we are receiving from ICICI Bank some format, so that is called how the communication happens. As I said that this is non-SAP. Sorry, this is not non-bank. This is non-SAP system. Non-SAP system. Clear? So what happens is in SAP there is a standard, most powerful interfaces are there. Most powerful interfaces are there in SAP. So with that interfaces, we can communicate from SAP to non-SAP, non-SAP to SAP system. Clear? So that is called interfaces. Inbound, we call it as an inbound. If we are receiving any information from other than non-SAP system, that is called, we call it as an inbound. And if we are sending some information, right, to non-SAP system, then that is considered as an outbound system. That is called outbound. Same time customer. I have, for example, same thing, I'll take Reliance. Okay. Reliance is using SAP, and they are purchasing color TVs from Samsung. Okay, they are purchasing color TVs from Samsung. So they are not using SAP. They are using non-SAP. Okay, non-SAP environment they are using. One second. Okay, so here what they have, for example, they have a CRM system. So here what they will do, SAP has a powerful interface that we call it as a, one second. Okay, powerful interface, right? We call it as a any interface. Customer interface. We call it as a customer interface. So for each and every transactions, right, to communicate from SAP to non-SAP, non-SAP to SAP, right, we have SAP is having a powerful interfaces. So these interfaces may differ from one customer to another customer. Clear? Different file formats are there. For example, ICICI Bank will have one file format. Okay, one file format. Same thing, Apple is having 4 different accounts, right? They are having accounts in ICICI, they are having accounts in HDFC, they are having accounts in SBI, for example, they have in Axis Bank, right? So the file format may different to communicate. Apple to ICICI Bank, ICICI Bank will have one format, one interface, right? Communication. And HDFC is having one different communication, right? SBI will have a different communication and Axis will have a different communication. So to cover all the banks, to cover all the third parties, SAP will have a different interfaces. Clear? So for that interfaces, we need a program. Clear? So that is the reason we required a BAP. Clear? Next one, conversions. What do you mean by conversions? One second. What do you mean by a conversions here? Conversions is nothing but programs, okay? Programs use it to migrate okay, data from old system, we call it as a legacy. Old systems, we call it as an in SAP, old system, we call it as a legacy system. Legacy systems. Okay, legacy systems to SAP during implementation okay. What do you mean by this? Okay, what do you mean by this in the sense? For example, I'll take one more example here. What do you mean by this in the sense? For example, conversions. What do you mean by this? For example, Reliance. I'll take the Reliance. Okay, Reliance is an old company. For example, they have business from 1980, I'll say. From 1980 to 2000, they are maintaining their software or their data in Oracle, different systems they are using. Oracle, PeopleSoft, okay, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, okay, JD Edwards. Next one, Dynamics. Next one, Tally, for example. So they are maintaining different softwares in different department, right? So Oracle is having some data, PeopleSoft is having some data, JD Edwards is having some data, Dynamics having some data, Tally is having some data of Reliance. Now in the year 2000, they have decided instead of using these many software, they want to use only one software, clear, that is SAP. They want to use only one software, that is SAP. Clear? They want to use SAP in their organization. So here for the first time they want to use SAP in their organization. Okay, they want to quit from existing softwares, existing systems, and they want to introduce SAP in the organization. Okay, then this is called implementation project. This is called implementation. What is this called? First time if we are introducing, clear, any software, then we call it as a implementation. Okay, so here first time Reliance want to implement SAP in their organization in the year 2000, right? But majority data, the data is in different systems, different systems. Now that, but because that is not a waste data, that is 100% useful data for Reliance. So if I'm using an SAP new software, then again I'll start from the initial, my business, I'll start from starting and I'll continue my previous, continue all my closing balances and all the stuff. Only they are changing the software, not their businesses, correct? Yes or no? Right? So the data need to be transferred from third party software to SAP. The data need to be migrate from third party software to SAP. Then that is considered as a conversions. Those are considered as an. So in interview, they might ask you, have you ever involved in any conversions? So what do you mean by that? Or they will ask you directly data migration or conversion. It is the same terminology. Conversions, data conversion, data migration, it is the same. Nothing but we are transferring data from third party or old system or legacy system to SAP system. Then that is considered as a conversions. Clear, everyone? So here to convert this, with thousands of data will be there, right? We can't move direct manually data. So we need to have some predefined program, right? So Reliance, I'm sorry, Bajaj also wants, Bajaj company is there, one more. Bajaj company is also there. They want to implement same SAP at same time. So their requirement may be different from Reliance. So there is separate program we need to write for Bajaj. Separate program will be developed for Reliance. Clear, everyone? So this is called conversion. This is called conversion, means so at the time of conversions may not be the same from one company to another company. So at that particular point of time, we required a ABAP. Clear? Next one, enhancements. Remember this. What do you mean by enhancements? This is very, very important and crucial for consultant. Clear? What is enhancement? What do you mean enhancement? In the sense modifications. Modifications. Okay. Modifications. One second. Modifications to standard SAP functionality without changing the core code. You can say that the core code. Okay, without changing the core code. Okay, using, I'll explain this in my project class, using user exist program. User exist. This is new terminology for everyone, but again, in the project call, I'll explain clearly this. User exist. This is a programming. User exist. Clear? User exist program. BADI. This is also program. BADI, BADI. Clear? Next one, enhancement spot. Enhancement spots. etc. So what exactly this is? Okay, what exactly this in the sense? For example, enhancement. So same Reliance, I'm taking Reliance. Okay, Reliance purchased licenses from SAP AG. Licenses, SAP, Reliance is a company, right? Reliance is, or else I'll take it as an Reddy Labs. Reddy Labs is using different software earlier. Now they want to implement SAP. Okay. Okay. They purchased license from SAP AG, company called SAP AG. So what SAP AG has done? SAP AG will give the complete dump to Reddy Labs. Complete dump to a Reddy Labs means entire software SAP will give it to Reddy Labs, right? So Reddy Labs cannot directly use it's not a ready-made package like your Excel or a Word. It's SAP is not a ready-made package. Okay, so what they need to do, Reddy Labs will purchase the license, software they purchased, servers they have purchased, everything. But directly can they use it? No, they can't use it, right? So whatever requirements are there, Reddy Labs. So more than that, for example, they whatever SAP license is provided. So out of the, for example, 100% is there in that. So Reddy Labs is required only 30% in that. Clear? SAP Reddy Labs requirement is only 30% in that. Okay, when SAP has given complete dump to Reddy Labs, clear? They have purchased, but only how much is required for Reddy Labs? Only 30%. So how they will come to know how they can adjust? They can map the 30% out of 100% in the sense they will give this project to any company, software company, right? For example, TCS, right? TCS, right? So what they did, Reddy Labs purchased SAP license from SAP company, right? And SAP has given a complete dump to Reddy Labs, right? So, but Reddy Labs may not require that much 100% dump. They required only 30%, right? So this particular project has given to TCS. So Reddy Labs has given the project to TCS. So what TCS will do? So, TCS is a software company. TCS is a software company. Okay. They are going to introduce SAP in Reddy Labs, right? So after completion of the course, so there are three, this is end user, clear? This is a software company and this is a SAP product provider, SAP provider. SAP provider. So this is end user who is going to use SAP. So after completion of the course, where we need to target ourselves, where we need to get the jobs at the Reddy Labs, where we need to see ourselves.
In the TCS or SAP.
Exactly. Our target would be either the software companies or the SAP provider. Clear? These two are our this is not our target at all. To target this, we don't require a SAP knowledge. Lakhs of people are working like this without having SAP knowledge. They are working on SAP as an end user. But this is not our target. Our target after completion of this particular course, we need to aim for either TCS or any software company or a provider, SAP provider. Clear? So what exactly this is? So software company has, okay, they have given this project to TCS. So what is the terms and condition they spoke about is, for example, the project cost is 30 crores. The project cost is 30 crores to implement completely into Reddy Labs, right? So here, what they will say that Reddy Labs, whatever SAP standard is there, so the same thing you need to map in our business requirement. So what we will do, we will map it as it is. So 30 crores project it is. So TCS will map Okay, according to the client requirement, whatever SAP AG has given. No problem here. Till here, no problem. But here, TC in what you call Reddy Labs. So 99%, 99%, whatever SAP has provided, it is fulfilling Reddy Labs requirement. Reddy Labs requirement. Clear? But 1% they have their own requirement. For example, 1% they have their own requirement. Means, for example, they want 1 second. Okay, so what is their requirement is, their requirement is, for example, if they are recording one invoice, they are punching one invoice. They are punching one invoice in the system. Clear? So it will give all the checks. So normally invoice date, vendor amount, and all those stuff. And apart from that, they have some validation, or I'll say that, for example, this is my report. SAP standard report, it is showing in what you call vertical format. Vertical format. One report is showing vertical format. Okay, by default, reports are showing in SAP vertical format, and every company, okay, within forms, they require date here and there and all those stuff that we can do in where we can change that, in the reports, right? So for example, this is my report, sales report. This is my sales report. So this is in A4 size or A4 format is there. So here it is SAP standard is providing date here. Okay, or bill number here. But this Reddy Labs is not it doesn't want bill number here. They want bill number. They want date here and bill number here. Okay, and other format is also changed. So here this particular requirement we can do in forms. This one you can see customized layout. We can do that. But here their requirement is the complete validation they require. So they don't want in this particular size. They want vertically, they want this like this. Whatever report they want in vertical. Understood? So they don't want in A4 size. They want in a letterhead format size. Then this forms cannot be sufficient. So for that, what we need to do? We need to do enhancement. Again, I'll discuss more about enhancements. So they required enhancements for this. So complete layout change. Whatever is not there in SAP standards and the requirement is completely different. If it is slight different, then we can do with the forms or reports or anything. But here they have a completely different. For that, we required an adapter help. Then that we call it as an enhancement project. Understood? Next one, workflows. Okay. Next one, workflows. For example, what are the workflows? Okay. So, for example, automation of business process. Of most of the, now in SAP end user level, these are the things happening. Automation of business process. Automation of business process. Okay. That requires multiple approvals. Clear? Or actions. Clear? So this is nothing but workflow. So what is happening here? What happens here in the sense, for example, I'll use this. Okay. What do you mean by this in the sense? What do you mean by this? Workflows. In the sense, for example, if I'm doing an invoice, clear? Invoice is nothing but a bill punching in the system. Or else I'll tell you one thing, passport. You have applied your passport, correct? So what it will do, normally when we apply, first it will be in verification counter. So the date come, you have applied and they have given one particular date, clear? So first, so they will give you some slot 3 to 5 or 5 to 7 slot. So first you enter into passport office. So first there will be a verification process will be there. So they will check, okay, and they will give you a token. Nothing but a number. So verification team will check all your documents, right? And from there, it will go to they will give you a token. And from there, you will go to counters like A, B, and C. So here one person verification is done. Once they issue a token, right? So automatically that will be triggered. The workflow will go to that will trigger to A counter, right? So how it will go? It will be done automatically. Earlier when automatic process were not there, so the process of passport would be used to take almost all 6 months. Now it is within a week time. It's not only Tatkal, you are going to get, if you apply now, probably within a week, less than 10 days, you are going to get your passport. So complete in the mediator system is gone, right? So the complete automation process, right? So the verification, automatically it will trigger to here A. Once A is done, whatever checks they have done, automatically that will trigger to B. Once the trigger is completed, once the verifications are completed in B counter, then it will go to counter C. Clear? So once this workflow is completed here, then automatically it will go to your local police station. The trigger will go to your local police station, okay, for check verification, and immediately it will go to printer, passport, whatever we call it, passport mint. What happened? Two workflows will go. One is for local police and one will to passport print to print your passport. Once the automatically police verification is done, whatever report they will update, right? This approach immediately that will go to passport print and they will dispatch to your whatever courier services. So this particular process is nothing but your workflow. Same thing accounts payable. If I take an accounts payable, clear accounts payable, if you do invoice punching, means accounts payable is nothing but they will do invoice verification. Sorry. Invoice verification. What is happening in invoice verification? They will punch the bill and recording the bill into the system. Okay. Once it is there, for example, the invoice value is 1 lakh USD. So as per this, so first it need to be approved team lead. After that, it need to be approved by assistant manager. After that, manager. After that, senior manager. And after that, payment. Right? So how it will go? After punching the invoice, first it will go to the team lead for verification. Once he approve, it will go to the I'm just giving a general scenario. And after that, it will go to the manager. And after that, it will go to the senior manager. And after that, it will go to the payment. So how it will be that the workflows will be designed. The program will be written, whatever requirement is there. So for example, for 10, this is 1 lakh amount, it need to follow this process. Okay. If it is only 1,000, amount is 1,000. So here it need to be checked only for 3 people. Only these 3 people. Clear? And if it is, sorry, If it is only 500, if it is only 500 amount, then it need only two checks. That is team lead, sorry, and aim. That's it. Not required manager approval also. Like this, the workflow will differ from amount to amount or company to company. Then we will write a program and we will call it as a workflows. So here, where is ABAP requirement is there? Why SAP is already having a predefined configurations and everything, but where the company require a development in the sense, so here there is the requirement may come FRISF or RISF. Okay, so just to remember that R stands for reports, I stands for interfaces, right? C stands for conversion, E stands for enhancements, W stands for workflows, F stands for FOPS. Clear? So here ABAP is required. ABAP is required here. Because already SAP has predefined programming. Why again ABAP in the sense? So company may not satisfy with SAP standard. So they may require still developments. 90% it may okay, but other 10%. So for that particular purpose, we required ABAP for technical modules. And what are the other technical module we have? What are the other technical modules we have in the sense? 1 second. Okay. Okay. Next one. Try to remember this, but no one will ask you in interviews, but only for your this thing we need to. Okay. And one more thing, for example, any custom standard, there are two things here. Standard one and customized one. Customized one. What do you mean by standard one? SAP default one, we call it as a standard one. Customer wants to customized according to their requirement. Any report, any flows, right? Any forms, any interfaces, any conversions. Okay, then that is called customized. So here SAP standard will be common, but customized one, for example, custom reports, right? Custom transactions. Custom transactions, right? For example, there is a report called payment report in SAP. We have F110. If someone doesn't know, don't require to remember. I'll explain later. F110. There is a SAP standard payment process. Okay, SAP is having everything transaction ports. So what it happens is, okay, F110 is a program. SAP, this is a SAP standard program. F110 is a SAP standard program, right? So here customer wants some specification rather than standard. They want to do some changes in the program, then that process, payment process. Then if it is a custom report or custom transaction, normally it will start with Z or Y. Z or Y. Okay. So what do you mean by that? In SAP, if you any transaction or any report starts with Z or Y, letter Z or Y, then that is considered as a custom report or custom transaction. This is not SAP standard. Other than Z or Y, everything is considered as a SAP standard one. For example, F110 and ZF110. Right? FBL 3N, Y, FBL 3N. Right? Next one. Let me give you a few more examples. Don't remember this transaction code as of now. Understood here. If any transaction or anything starts with Z or Y, then that is nothing but not SAP standard. as per the customer requirement, it has been developed, right? Apart from this Z and Y, right? If anything stands with F or M or A to this one Y, not Y, up to X, whatever transactions are there, whatever letters it will start, it is nothing but SAP standard 1. Clear, everyone? How we can easily identify whether it is a customized one or SAP standard. If it is customized Y, 100%, it will start with either Z or Y. If it is not starting with Z or Y, other than Z or Y, then it is nothing but SAP standard.
So Naveen, in this F110 is there. So
Sorry?
additionally, they added some. Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So basic, what are the fields we have in that F110?
Mm-hmm.
If customized that's done, they added some more
Fields.
point
Okay.
lines or points, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the customized one, right?
Correct.
So basic fields will be the same.
Normal SAP across the globe, that is the same.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
So additionally, they added something, means they have created or they added in the means customized one. So they'll add the Z or Y for the
Correct.
transaction code.
Correct. So for example, if I take your company, DSM, in DSM, they won't use F110, they use ZF110.
Yes.
Why? Because in DSM, they don't have they are not using SAP standard one, they are using the customized one.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll tell you Z, what is the difference between Z and Y also. For example, if I take one company, DSM only. DSM is the company where it is having in India, okay, and across Europe it is having, for example, they are having in Netherlands, okay, they are having in Switzerland, right, they are having in France, okay, and they are having in for example US, okay. So DSM is having India, okay, Netherlands, Switzerland, France, and US, right? So here, as I said, that if they want to use a payment program, okay. So if they want to use SAP standard payment program, then they can directly use F110. F110 they can use in all their company codes. F110 in Netherlands and everywhere they can use it. Clear. But here their requirement is something different. Here, this is SAP standard one. F110 is a SAP standard one for payment, to do the payments to third parties, right? Whenever they want to do the payments, right, through SAP, they will have a program called F110. If anyone is like majority are new for this, so don't get a confusion here. I will explain everything in depth. But remember that this is a payment program. But here, this is a SAP standard program. Whoever are using SAP across the globe, not only DSM, all the companies who are using, okay, common program, okay, if they are okay with the SAP standard, then they can use directly this. But DSM is having different requirement on payment program. They have their own requirement. Then what SAP will do is SAP will do enhancement. SAP will do enhancement, clear, on this program. SAP will do enhancement on this program, and what they will do is, means they are not following standard. They have design, they want their own design program. Then at that particular point, across the globe, DSM, they want to use a common, but not SAP standard. They want to use their own program. So then they will prefix with Z. Okay, entire DSM across the globe, they want to use customized payment program across the globe, wherever regions DSM is on, everywhere they want to use same program. Then they will use Z program. Then why they can use Y program, Y F110 in the sense, what is the difference between Z and Y? Okay, is it only letter? No. For example, even though DSM is having a own customized program, if they want a common, as I said, that in different countries they are having, right? Different countries they are having. This is companies, right? So each and every company, the common requirement is common. So then they can use ZF110. But here, even though it is DSM and having a different countries, but India company payment program is something different. Netherlands is something different. Switzerland is something different. France is something different, and US is something different. So first of all, they are not satisfied with the SAP standard. Now they want to go with the custom program. But even custom also, Indian custom requirement is something different. Netherlands custom requirement